Okay, so the reason why I'm saying watch this even if you don't have autism, I feel like these statements that I'm making and the advice that I'm giving are pretty general so that everyone can follow it. I'm just coming from an autistic standpoint because I have autism. So me giving advice to you now, I'm I'm giving it from a more broader perspective so that everyone can kind of take something and, learn from it. But yeah, like it's gonna help everyone. So just flick through the video. If you don't find anything, then that's fine. So this video is about being confident, right? It's something that, well, at least for me, I had to build over time. And I just want to go through the processes and stuff that I had to do to get to this point that I'm at right now where I feel fairly confident. Like I used to be when I was like 15, I could only really talk to people if I was online with them. Like I used to play Xbox. And I always used to just talk to people, but like in person, I could never hold eye contact. I would never do things like social. I wouldn't really go to parties. I was just kind of alone, to be honest. But and then like at the point where I am at right now, I go to the gym and I have friends in gym, and usually like I'll talk to anyone. If I walk past someone and I want to speak to them, then I will. Like it doesn't. I don't get like a sick feeling. It used to be like a really like gut wrenching feeling, but now it's fine. So I just want to go through what took me to get to this place where I'm at right now. And obviously it took a lot of time. So don't jump into this video thinking that, oh yeah, if I follow all these tips and tricks, then it's just gonna happen instantly. It won't. It's gonna take loads of trial and error and just, repetitiveness, and you'll soon get it. But the best thing that you've done right now already is you've became aware of the problem that you're facing, and you also want to make a change. So that's great. Um and the thing is, when you start this journey to becoming more confident, you need that like inner motivation and like discipline. Otherwise, you're not going to get anywhere. If this is like a fleeting thought that like, oh yeah, I mean, I want to get more confident, but like you got to really want it, because otherwise you're not going to be able to put in enough work to get it, because it's very scary. It can be really scary at first. Not to like throw you off to like make you not want to do it anymore, but I'm just like making you aware before we start. So it mainly just depends on what you're struggling with right now. So say if it's like you're in school and you don't have a lot of friends and you want to talk to people, but a lot of people are in groups, or like I don't know, yeah, like you're in some sort of social situation like the gym or school, and you want to speak to people, but your brain is just not letting yourself. So first of all, you gotta understand exactly what you're struggling with right now. So it can be when, say, if you're in a social situation like the gym or school, and you find yourself like you want to speak to people but you can't, or maybe it's like you want to learn how to cold approach people and you just don't know how to like get into those steps of like pushing yourself to do it, because like these things can be really scary, especially like if you're in a social situation when a lot of people are in groups and you want to be involved, but it's really hard to approach a group. And yeah, even with like approaching someone one on one, that's like very difficult. But the first thing that you need to do is realize which one you're struggling at the most, or which one you want to improve in the most. And what we want to do is we want to put you in those situations, and like slowly though. We don't want to put you in the deep end straight away. So the problem that people face when they're trying to tackle this problem is that they'll put themselves right in the deep end straight away. So it's like, for example, if you go gym, it's like going to bench 100 kg like straight away day one, first day of gym. Like you're just like, that's just stupid. That's foolish. Like not even with a warm up. Like, and that's kind of what we need to do now is we're building up this weight. It's progressive overload basically. So we put on low weight, and then we slowly increase it, slowly increase it, slowly increase it until we get to that point that we want to be at. if we want to transfer this into a social aspect, then what we can do is start by speaking to one person a day. Like, just like make the bar so low so that you're going to hit it, right? And then that'll make you feel good. If you hit your goal, then you feel good, right? If you're thinking about this situation and it's getting you a bit nervous, so like you're thinking about you going to someone and then getting nervous, and like it's nerve-wracking to think of you doing that, then just think like we've all been in that situation. Like, to get to that point, you gotta face your fears. So just go for it. Literally just say hi and that's it. It can just be like, literally, they don't even have to reply. Like, we're making the bar that low just so that the progression, you can see the progression clearly, right? First goal for you, you can pause the video right now. I think that'd be really good if you pause the video right now, come back to it once you've spoken to one person, and don't put any pressure on it. You don't have to have like a full-fledged conversation, but just say, like, literally, it can be someone walking by and just saying hi, like good morning. If you're in the park or something, just say good morning. Or like, you can speak to your bus driver when you get your ticket, or whatever. Just have an excuse to speak to someone and then come back to this video. Now that you've done that, what you can do now is you can try and speak to 5 people a day, 3 people. Let's say 3. So you want to speak to 3 people now, okay? And then the day after that, we want to speak to 5. And you see what I'm doing, right? So we just slowly increase it. So then we can actually see ourselves gaining skills in it. And also, you'll become more confident and it'll become less alien to you. And maybe when you get to the point where you're asking 10 people, 10 people is quite a lot. What you can do then is you can ask 10 people, and then also with one of those 10 people, you can have a conversation with them, which is different, right? So you're still speaking to those people, like saying hi and stuff like that. But you can also add that one person where you want to actually hold a conversation with, stuff like that, that'll make you more confident in that aspect as well. There could also be other aspects as to why your confidence isn't really that great. It could be because, maybe it's something to do with the way you look. I remember when I was young, that was what was holding me back. So when I started picking up the gym and stuff, it really motivated me, and it made me feel better to talk to people because I felt like I was attractive, and I wasn't insecure. So maybe fixing some insecurities that might be affecting the way you feel like people are going to perceive you, then that could be good. So yeah, go in the gym, or maybe like fixing your style, or fixing your hair, or like, mainly appearance wise. Or, I feel like the rest, if people are going to judge you, it's more conversational, and that's just something that you learn. So yeah, refine your looks if you need to. If you feel insecure in anything, just try and see if you can, make any benefits towards it. Another thing that might be affecting you is that you might be feeling like everyone's watching your every move. I remember when I was young, I always had my head down because I was too self-conscious about like anyone looking at me. But when I did have my head up, I think, oh damn, why is everyone staring at me? And like, it probably get in my head. You gotta think about it in this way, right? Like, a lot of people are stuck in their own mind thinking about themselves. Like, I mean, you clicking on this video, that's a perfect example, right? You're just a normal person. So am I. And at that point, like when I was young, I was so self-conscious about me. Everyone else is so self-conscious about themselves. No one's actually focusing on you, right? That's just the mental image that you've painted in your head because you're so self-conscious of yourself. So you think that everyone's going to be looking at you, looking for your flaws, but that is not the case, I promise. Finding excuses to have conversations with people is also really good. So I'm really into fashion, and when I first started talking to people, usually like I'd have to force myself, but it got to a point where I could pick and choose who I wanted to speak to, and it felt a lot easier when I'd see someone who I thought had a nice outfit, and then I just compliment their outfit, and then like, because that's something that I'm into, and it's a genuine compliment, and it's so easy to start that conversation with them because I'd say, oh yeah, like, oh, I really like your shoes, like, where'd you get them from? And then we start talking like that, and because he's or she is into the same fashion as me, then we kind of get along anyway. So I'd hold a conversation with them. Same with like, if you're in the gym, if you're in the gym and you go into the changing rooms and you see someone like getting ready for their workout or something, you could just have a conversation with them. That's what I usually do when I enter the gym. If anyone's in there, I'll just be like, "Oh, bro, were you training today?" And then just talk like that. And it can, yeah, just be like a 5 minute conversation. Get their name as well. That's a nice little bonus. And yeah, but it's just that repetition. That's all you need. Like, as long as you get consistent with it, it'll slowly become more comfortable. Like, you'll get more confident. And for me, it was really exciting, like getting over those bridges. And, when you actually see the progress, it's so good. Another thing that could be holding you back is if you overthink a lot. So I overthought a lot when I was first starting, and this stopped me from having conversations with certain people because I look at them and I think, oh no, they're gonna judge me, or like if like I'd be so self-conscious if I stuttered, or if I looked like I was like, I don't know, looking, if I looked weird, like, or they think that I look weird, and then I just get in my head about their opinions. You just gotta remember what I said before. Everyone's too self-conscious about themselves and no one really gives a shit, if I'm being honest, right? Like, even if, say if something embarrassing happens to you and people look at you and that, like, say if you trip over, bro, no one cares. Like, everyone's gonna forget in like 5 seconds. I'm telling you. And that's the truth. Like, they might laugh at it and then boom, it'll just go out their mind, right? And you've got to try and look at everything like that, right? Understand that people aren't interested in your life. Like, that's just the truth. People don't really care if you make these mistakes because they're too clued up on what they got going on. And in this day and age, we have a lot of shit going on, right? So the more you don't care, the more you're going to succeed.